Hello, it's Wednesday, September 17th, about 3:40 p.m. Just making a walkthrough video. I'm starting out at the back porch. Over there you can see the field, the building. The building I've since painted. See if we can get a better look at it. I'll do an exterior video later. But as you can see, I need to paint. I need to cut the grass. I'll do that this coming week. But I've painted the inside of the porch and the floor. And the screen doors have been repainted, as well as the threshold bottom there, and the old side cabinet. And I keep a radio on outside to deter anybody from trying to come into the yard or anything, as well as a lock on the gate and cameras, because people walk up and down this hill and I don't want anybody fucking around on the property. But you come in and it's the kitchen. I've restained the door and did some light painting on the baseboards. As you'll see throughout the house, there's stuff that I've moved into the house that'll be situated once I get up here. But I've repainted all the doors and restained all the window and door trim. I'm eventually going to repaint the bricks there. I recently sprayed for spiders because the damn cellar spiders had kind of taken over the house. Bought another stove, and here's the old hood that was with the old stove. The hood's probably at least 40 years old, as is the stove, I'm sure. It's a Montgomery Ward. And you can see that it has the old clocks and a dial that gives you cooking times based on meat and weight. And I cleaned that up and repainted the burner guards, and basically just did a lot of cleanup. The floor needs to be cleaned again and eventually just pulled up and replaced, but for now I'm going to keep it. But the bathroom, I gotta wipe down the walls again and wipe the window, but around the window's been repainted, and the baseboards and the register. Painted the tops of the washer and dryer because they had little rust spots on them, and new light fixtures, both of them. This was like the one that used to be in here probably back in the 80s. New medicine cabinet, towel ring, new shower curtain rod, and I have another shower curtain to put up, but a new shower head, towel bar. But yeah, this was the shower my grandfather had put in, because it has benches on it, and I need to put. I've got clips. I've got new clips to put in for the shower curtain to keep it secured against the wall when you're in there. I just redid the caulking around the floor there. Not the neatest job, but whoever did it previously did it in clear silicone, and it looked horrible, so I basically had to cover it up. And that's the bathroom. And as I've said, all the doors have been repainted, and the natural tone doors have been restained. And then here's the old kitchen table. It's dated from '85, and it has a leaf. My dipshit uncle left it, and I cleaned it up and restained the legs, and then got new chairs that pretty well go with it, and I restained them as well. And then in here is the old dining room. Now, I've cleaned up the carpet pretty good. It probably needs to be cleaned a little bit better, but There's not much I can do with it. I'm just there's old farm rugs that I have that go in here, that were in here, that I'll just put back down, and eventually probably just have to pull it up, but I'd rather not. Cleaned up the fridge, and there's an old shelf behind the door that used to be basically the pantry. This will be my junk room for all my toys, stuff like that. And of course, pretty much all the rooms, aside from the next room, have all new light fixtures. And then sofa that my old bosses gave to me, and rocking chair and a metal chair that'll go outside, but both of which I've repainted. And then here's my utility shelf for the moment with all my tools and stuff that I've needed for working in here. Here's a cabinet that I'm eventually going to put in the bathroom. It has kind of the old lattice. I don't know if you can see it, but the old lattice patterns on it. And then in here is my grandparents' old bedroom. If I can get to the light, turn that on. I've got fans going to keep it ventilated in here, but my uncle left a big ass wardrobe. Probably about the only useful thing he did leave, aside from just small things. But most of what he left was stuff he couldn't sell, because he's a fucking scumbag. But here's a closet, and this wall used to be a double-sided fireplace, and they covered it up, and there used to be 2 closets in here, but they closed the wall off to the other one. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of stuff I brought in. This will be kind of my office for my music and art and stuff, but there's 2 more closets with the old school like blind doors. And then that window leads out into the enclosed front porch. We'll go out there in a minute. But yeah. Yeah, and then I've got all new blinds that I'm going to put up once I get up here too. I just left the blinds up just to have something in the windows. But once I get up here, I'll put all new blinds up and get rid of these nasty things. And then, of course, comes out into the living room, as it has that wraparound architecture. And this big window looks out over onto the old garden, the big part of the yard. But and then the window, they had done this back in the 80s, so I guess so Grandma could wash dishes and watch TV while she was washing dishes or whatever. And then, of course, a new light fixture. And then I had a couple problems with leaks in the ceiling, and those were where the leaks were. And after I fixed them, I repainted them, so you can't really tell unless you're really looking for it. But yeah, this is the old living room. The TV will go back here where it used to be. And then here will be the gun cabinet and a chair, and then a rocking chair by the window, and Mom's old desk there, sofa there, corner cabinet there. And there used to be various things here. A lot of the times it was just open, but I've got an old piano that I'll put there. And then here's the old front bedroom. Like all through the house, I repainted the door frames and restained the trim. This in here, I'm going to have to replace this eventually because it's warped. It's not the old wooden paneling, and it was warped from the moisture in the house from just being in a state of squalor. But I've got another piece of old paneling that I'm going to replace it with. And dickhead, like there's holes in this door. I'm just going to put a framed poster up over it to cover that up instead of having to just replace the damn door. But I keep air flowing in here. And then as you see, this will overlook the front and the street down below. And then there is where we closed the property up down, the opening up down there. Used to be where you could park down there. I don't know if I'll just leave it closed permanently or what. But maybe when my mom moves up here, we'll put like a trailer or camper down here. But this room also has 2 closets, one with shelves and one as a wardrobe. And then it's got, with the old tiles, some of them are sagging, so I'm going to have to secure them up. And then there was a leak here at one point when we had a snowstorm and the ice was melting and it was leaking into the house, and I had painted over that. You can see it better with the camera than you can looking at it. If you're looking at it, you can't really see it that well. I might put another layer of paint over it, but it's more visible with the camera. Okay, so this makes the circle around the house. So that's the circle, and then we'll go into the front porch here in a minute. But here, this is that's the old garden. And then up there you can see the barn. That's where I keep my ride mower and all that, the lawn care equipment. And back behind the house, the bank that's lined with, I believe, like 5 of those trees. I'm not sure what they're called. They call them cigar trees because they got those long things that hang off of them. And then here is the old front porch. It used to be open, and then they enclosed it back in the 80s. And I put tile down on the floor. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about the tile because the floor is not straight. So the tile isn't completely secure. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do about it. This was planned on being the cat's room and storage, and possibly partitioned that way to be a workshop, but I'd put paneling up on the walls. And see, look down in there. Goes down to where Parkview Road's at, the main road. And but yeah, I put all the trim up and the baseboards, the top baseboards. I've still got to get corner trim for the corners and seal around the window because wasps like to get in here. But it's got a lot of potential. I'm going to take a shop light and hang up there and have it connected to that socket. That way when you turn it on, the shop light comes on too. That way it's got more light than just that socket. And it does have an outlet there, but I've got an extra sofa I'm going to put up here and an extra table and chairs that'll go there. And like I say, I might partition it off over there for like a workshop or something. But this is the old front door. It used to be where we came in, but when they closed it off, I guess they took it and put it out here. But you can see it still has the chain thing there. And then when we go inside, you'll see the chain still on the damn wall, the door frame. So they had just gotten another door and put it there. Yeah, see, there's the chain. But anyway, that's the house. Not too bad, not quite a mansion, but it's nice for me. And you got all this shit in there. There's the old amp that I used to play, all the shows that I bought from Errol. But yeah, that's the house. And then I'll do an outside video some other time. We'll just walk around the yard.